You might have seen these pictures on the news not that long ago. Have a look at these. Oh, wouldn't that freak you out? Estonian rally driver Odd Tanik ploughing into the lake, the car filling with water, which I think would freak most of us out.
Yes, filled quite quickly, didn't it? It got us thinking, do you know how to get out of a sinking car? Emma Keeling put on her wetsuit and went back to school.
As the water surges over the windscreen, I wonder, what if?
You can see how easy it is for people to panic.
Oh, this water takes up your personal space and it is quite claustrophobic.
Yeah.
So many of our roads wind around rivers. In the past 5 years, 26 died this way.
Nearly a quarter of river drownings in New Zealand involve a motor vehicle.
And that's why I'm here, so rescue expert Steve Glassy can explain how to save yourself.
There's a lot of misinformation.
There are loads of videos online by credible people which Steve doesn't want you to watch.
All of them give varying levels of good and not so good advice.
He holds his breath, tugs on the door. Then, once the water pressure is equalised, remove your belt, open the door.
He says even Bear Grylls is misleading us.
If the thing's sinking, you have to wait for it to get to the bottom.
Yes.
No, you don't. Never wait for the car to fill up with water.
The equalisation theory is probably not your best chance of survival. You have to wait for the vehicle to stop its full descent, which may be several metres, which means you'll have to hold your breath for that period in hope that the vehicle equalises.
Steve is an instructor for Rescue 3 New Zealand.
Really nice and tight, guys.
It's part of a global network providing certified water and rescue training. Trevor and Jen are here from South Australia.
Well, New Zealand has some of the best rivers in the world, and by the very nature of that, they have some of the best river rescuers in the world as well.
Along with other specialised emergency response people for the North Island, they're learning the many ways of approaching and rescuing people safely.
They spend half a day in the classroom looking at vehicle behaviour in terms of what happens when vehicles go in the water.
Today the current is strong, but the car is secured on the riverbed and divers are on hand.
So if your vehicle goes into flood water or any water, they'll typically float for 1 to 2 minutes. So you've actually got a little bit of amount of time to focus on your plan.
If the car was in shallow water, I could ring for help, but we're pretending my car could sink, so it's time to get out fast.
Okay,
Wind down
windows. Some electrics can actually work up to 10 minutes. Now, if it doesn't go down, you've got some options. You could use a device like this to break the window, or maybe you've got a pair of pliers or a screwdriver in the glove box you can use to smash the window. You will not be able to punch it out or kick it out. Okay, so we've done our seatbelts, our windows are down. Grab any children, and then out the window, Dukes of Hazzard style.
Okay.
My escape isn't very graceful as my foot gets stuck under the steering wheel, but I am safe. Later, Steve shows me the gadget you can buy to break windows.
The spring-loaded punch, but also a seatbelt cutter if your seatbelt is stuck.
Recently, policemen had to break a car window with rocks to get a woman out. If only they'd had this.
Wow!
And again, it's easy as jumping out now.
How awesome was that?
How cool is that?
I mean, out of all the other windows.
I know you do.
That's exactly what you need. So try what they need, and what's that called? The little thing?
A resqme, I
It's a
think.
resqme. And that's a trip for me to Repco at the weekend, because any excuse to get round to Repco and get some tyre shine and a rescue me. But what you were saying is, because that's such a specialised piece of equipment, because here's your problem. You prepare for certain things in life, don't you? You think to yourself, you know, if certain things happen to me, I am prepared for them. Driving off the road into a river isn't
No,
one.
I mean, you might have a first aid kit in the car.
Exactly.
You may have a screwdriver, you will have a jack, but they'll be in the boot.
You pretended today that you had a screwdriver in your car. I said, who's got a rescue me in the car? Who's got a screwdriver? And you said, I do.
I do have a screwdriver
Where
in
is
the
it?
car. It's in the boot. You didn't ask that.
What possible use is it in the boot, for God's sake? See
I
what I'm
could
saying?
probably clamber over and get it.
So what you're saying is that they can get the Rescue Me and whack a corkscrew and a bottle opener on it as well. You've got yourself one useful piece of equipment that you would then travel with in your car.
In your car, in your glove box.
Or a mobile phone with a Rescue Me on it. You know, just to wrap up the package. So, you know, something like that, trying to be useful. Anyway.